Greetings, everybody. How are we doing? How are you doing? I am Instructor Nelly with a difference, and today I want to show you how to draft buba. Please, if you find this video useful, kindly subscribe, like, and share. And don't forget to click the notification button so that anytime I post a video, you'll be the first to know. So that being said, let's get to the practical part of it. See you there. Bye-bye.
Hey guys, so these are the measurements we'll need for this buba. You need your bust around, shoulder, hip, half length front and half length back, waist to hip. You need your sleeve and then shoulder to bust measurements. Take these measurements before starting the pattern drafting. Thank you.
All right. For the sake of this class, I'll share the class into two, okay, so that we'll understand it very well. It's very simple, okay, just watch and try to understand. So the first measurement we need is our shoulder measurement divided by 2. So I'm working with 16 inches. 16 divided by 2, 8. So starting from this side of the paper at the top line, I'll measure in 8 inches and put a mark there. That is done, the next measurement is a shoulder to bust measurement. My shoulder to bust measurement that I will use here is 10 inches. So from the top line here, just follow my instructions, please. From the top line here, I'll measure down 10 inches and mark. I'll do the same thing close to the middle of the paper, 10 inches and mark. Take your roller and connect both lines together. Okay. Now the next measurement I'll need is my half length back or half length front. Either one works. So let me use my half length front. So my half length front measurement is 16. From the top line, I'll measure down 16 inches and mark. So from the top line, you measure down 16 as well for our half length front. So once you've done that, connect both lines together. All right. Now the next measurement is our waist to hip. So my waist to hip is 9, but my client wants it short, because note that your waist to hip measurement will be the blouse. Okay, the length of the blouse, but if you want it shorter, you can minus from your waist to hip. So mine is 9, I'll minus 2. 9 minus 2, 7. So from this waistline, I'll measure down 7 inches and mark. I'll do the same on this side, 7 and mark. Once you're done, connect. Note this is the length of our blouse. Okay. Like that. So you can label here as your what hip. So once all this line is gotten, the next thing is to apply the measurement on this line. On this line. So once you've gotten all these lines needed, okay, once you've gotten your shoulder, you've gotten your shoulder to bust measurement, that's SB, you've gotten your waist, and then your waist to hip measurement. The next thing now is to apply the measurement. Now, the measurement we are talking about now, if you look at in your bust and hip measurement, which carries the highest number? For my client now, her hip is wider than her bust. Most people, you look between the bust and hip, which carries, and you just choose between the bust and hip, choose the one that has the highest number and divide it by 4. So for me now, I'm using the hip measurement because her hip is wider than her bust. So her hip is 43. 43 divided by 4. I got 10 5, 10 6 over 8, sorry. This is the half, then 5 and 6, 10 6 over 8. Now that 10 6 over 8, okay, you measure it like this in this form. From the shoulder part here, you measure in 10 6 over 8 and mark. Take the lines straight. You do the same on the shoulder to bust measurement. I hope you guys can see the same thing. So it's just going to be a straight line. So once you've gotten the points, take your ruler and connect it. Connect the lines. It's just going to give you a straight line because we're using the same measurement. It's better use a very long ruler. So once you've connected it, you can see that we have a long line from here to the end. Now, the next thing we need to do is the sleeve line. Now, I told you something about sleeve. The sleeve measurement for buba is totally different from every other sleeve. Okay, now what you do, because it's a free silhouette, is a free garment, all you just need to do here is extend your shoulder to bust measurement all the way down to the end. So for you to get a straight line, you will just measure, you keep measuring this shoulder to bust because we need a straight line. Okay, take it to the end, connect with a straight line. Okay. Okay, now that being said, there's a way we take a measurement for this Iran Boba in terms of length. So I'll talk to you about that. Okay. Okay, now let's get the neckline. Now the neckline, you can depend on how wide you want the neck to be. So I'll use 4 by 4. What do I mean by 4 by 4? You can use 3 by 4, you can use 4 by 4 or 3 by 3, depending on how wide you want the neck to be. But for this particular class, let me use 3.5 by 3.5. 3.5 by 3.5 for the neck. So you are forming a box with it, okay? You can do this. Three 3.5 by 3.5. Okay, so that's it. Then once you've gotten this, you get a curve. You get a curve, drop here by half an inch. And then here by 1 inch, you get a curve ruler. When you have a curve ruler, you can use your hand to curve it, or you can use a curve ruler. I don't have one, so I have to use my hand. Okay, so that's being said, let's get to the hem. The hem, always remember to add 2 inches at the hem for your sewing allowance. Take this down. And then come out here by 2/8. just 2/8. Let me use from 2. Just 2/8. 2/8. This is for the sewing allowance. Okay, you can see it's just a straight garment, nothing much. So for the sleeve, okay, now depending on the length. So guys, this is how to take the sleeve for your Euro and buba. Place the tape on your neck point and then stretch your hands out to any length you need for the buba. Just the way I'm doing it. Fortunately, you can't see everything because I'm doing it myself. My model is not around. So I'm using 15. That's from my neck point to that point I'm pointing there is 15. So yours can be longer. It can be from the neck point to your wrist. Yes, to the wrist, or from neck point to any desired length needed. So for me, I'm using 15. So I don't know that's what your client will need. But for me, I'm working with 15. Just follow the same instructions. Thank you. So after that's being said, I'll use 15 for my clients. So that 15 now, remember that part I said you should take it from. This is the point. This is the neck point. So you can label here as NP, neck point. So I'm using 15 for her. So from here, I'll measure in 15. You can see that 15 and put a mark there. That is the length you want. So if you want it longer to be any length, you can add paper to it. And then you take a measurement from here, from this line to here to get your line accurately. So this is 7/8. You come here to this line, okay, and mark 7/8 so you can have a straight line. Connect both lines. Okay, now that's the length I'll use. So because we don't want this too wide, you come up here by 1 inches and slant your like this in. Okay, so giving the sleeve a bit of shape, and then don't forget to add your 2 inches. So this is it. So our next class, I'm going to show you how to cut and sew this buba. Okay, so see you in our next class, and thanks for watching. Bye.